What's going on, everybody? Dylan here with Espresso Outlet. So today I'm actually going to be doing a walk around video of the trailer. I've had a couple people ask me how I have everything set up. So we're just going to take you through a quick walk up and just a kind of a little tour to show you what I have going on. So here we ended up switching out the manual jack for an electric jack. Just a lot easier. Just make sure that your rating is going to be able to lift your trailer up depending on the weight of your trailer. So we have the drop hitch on the truck. So the drop hitch just allows it to be able to ride it to where it's all level, nice and level. That's super important. We have our mini split here. We went with the Pioneer. I will link this one down in the comment section below. It's the inverter ultra high efficiency heat pump. So this is for heat and air. So it's the mini split system. We bolted it straight onto the frame, as you can see here, and we put a little rubber pieces so it doesn't vibrate or move around. And then we just got our trailer vinyled, so we have the vinyl here and down here. Nice pop-up window that goes on 3 different brackets. We have our QR code here that brings you to all of our links and websites, our Instagram and Facebook. And then on the back is pretty much the same. And then on the side, we have our big logo as well. So down here is where the gray water tank empties out of, which is just this little system here. It's a little valve, so you pull this up and then it all comes out that drain. And then over here is where we add water into our freshwater system. So check your code. Ours requires your gray water to be 50% larger than your so it's got to be pretty much double the size of your freshwater. So if your freshwater is 20, our gray water is required to be 40. And then we have levelers on all sides of the trailer. So it just shows if it's level or not, which is going to be really important if you do have a mini split system like we do. Because let's say I have the mini split running right now and it's this off balance or off sides, off level, then the problem is you're going to have leakage. It's going to leak inside. We've been to an event where the road was super uneven and you had to pretty much park your tire on the curb and the other side on the road to make it to where you could level it out. We do have jacks welded on each corner of the trailer here that we use a impact tool to get that down super easy. However, if you have this, sometimes they don't go as high as you need to if you're on an uneven surface. So you definitely want to make sure you have extra 2x4s, 4x4s, or go on the curb so that way you can level everything out, which is going to be super important. And then we just go on to this side. You always just want to make sure that you have a plug to go into your generators. And here we have a weather sealed. We went with Reliance. This is a 50 amp. So it's right there. It's kind of plug in. I would say don't go cheap on these. They are pretty pricey. I think they're like 40, 50, or 60 bucks, something like that. But that one was out of stock for quite some time. But as soon as it came back in stock, I got it right away. It's just super, super nice. So we'll take a quick walkthrough in the inside. So here is our pop-up window. I believe it's like a 72 by 42, so it's a pretty big window. Lights on the outside, but I wanted people to have an experience when they come to an event, not just a small window. So just excuse inside of here because there is no lights. It's not hooked up to power currently. We have wall lights on top. We have our custom metal Brew Head Espresso sign, which was absolutely awesome, done by a local guy here. So as soon as you walk in, you have your mini split system here. You have your lights. So one controls the outside, one controls the main can lights in the inside here. And then this is the remote for the mini split system, which is here. And then you remove this, that's your control panel for all the lights. So each one of these outlets are put on there's one back here, 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 and here. Ton of outlets in here. They're each on their own system, their own circuit. So if one blew, it's that circuit, doesn't take out the whole circuit, and It's just super easy. Have shelves here. We put our products. So we'll put like our matcha powder, our cocoa powder, our coffee beans, and our sugar-free options up here for the day. I'm actually going to be adding another one over here. We have our built-in ice cooler. Super nice. It just unfolds here, slides back down, and then our rug kind of just stored under here. And then we have safety locks on all of our cabinets. This is super important, especially when you're going down the road. You don't want these things banging everywhere, just to keep everything nice and neat. We have our 5-gallon bucket here. So at the end of the day, when the ice chest gets watery, this tube will go through here. You just lift this down. All the water will flow through here. You put it through your bucket. Here's the water pump, which goes into that outlet. We unplug it and run all the pressure out before we drive, just because it's not good to have pressurized lines while driving. This is our gray water, or our fresh water tank. So it goes down into the floor. It goes actually pretty far down, but we did cut it out so it doesn't move when we're in transit. So to the next one, these are fake, obviously. This one actually opens up, but we have locks. It's really important, if you have any drawers, lock them so they can't move while in transit. In this cabinet, we have all of our cups and lids. So we have our cold cups, cold lids, hot cups, hot lids, all in totes, so that fits perfectly in there, and it just keeps everything from moving out and just nice and stored, so that way there is no bugs. There is a foam piece inside of here, to where when it comes down and latches on here, that it does keep it pretty tight so no bugs can get in, which is super important when you are mobile. We have our fire extinguisher down here right by the door in case we need to use one. Make sure to check your code. Our code did require that we have one. We have these little bar mats back here that we set our syrups on. We also have more bar top mats over here. We usually set our hot water container here, and then whatever mixed things we got. Our shelf for our pastries will actually go here by the serving window, but we keep it there during transit, and then we pretty much just have this whole area to use to our disposal, whatever we need for extra supplies, so on and so forth. We have our drain tray here, nice and easy removable, so it all goes down into our gray water. We have a pitcher rinser, which also goes to the gray water, a knockbox, which brings you down. So here's the espresso machine. We're using a Appia Life single group espresso machine. It is plumbed in, and the way that we have it stored while in transit is we actually have an eye bolt located here on the side and another eye bolt here. So we do our pads. So this pad here just protects the machine from any damage from the cord. So you can just kind of move this where you need it, just so it doesn't get damaged while in transit. So just going to move that a little bit. We have foam on the back so it can't slide backwards. There is no wiggle room, and the machine's not going anywhere. So that's how we have our machine down. Just undo it when you get to the event and you're good to go. So it is plumbed into a 4-gallon bucket. We have our garbage can here. And then I have a system built in, if I can get to it here. So we have the pump going into an accumulator, and then that accumulator keeps a constant pressure back into the espresso machine. So it goes into that braided fixed line down here, up to the top, into that hole, and then that's where everything is plumbed in at the bottom. So super easy. Got your 4-gallon drain bucket. I would say that you dump that, and then you can use it probably up to like a week and then take it out depending on how busy you are. If you do a lot of milk drinks, you might want to change that out like every 2 or 3 days because it could start smelling. It's just gross. You keep everything as clean as possible. You have your fresh water. I actually empty these out and put third wave water with distilled water, third wave packets in distilled water. Just my preferred method for keeping the water nice and good for your espresso machine. We got 2 bar mats here. So the way that this system works is whoever is taking orders, usually my best friend or my wife, will be taking the orders from this window. and then they'll be putting all the cups here. So the orders that I have to go first go from here, and they kind of just zigzag here. So first, and then first down to here, and then that way we can have 6 rows if need be. So obviously the closest one to the corner is the one I have to work on first, going down to here, and then once that gets filled, then you start a new one here and go down, and I just grab and fulfill orders. The order I'm working on, I'll put the cups on the top, just the cups. They do not get syrup, coffee, no liquid at all enters the cup. It's just dry cup on the espresso machine. You don't want any product baking in and falling in into your espresso machine. Just as a side note, we have our hand washing sink here, which this just acts for extra storage. You have your tray here. This part can also go on the top like so, all the way across, so that way you can drain stuff if you have to drain any kind of cups or anything. But this is our hand washing sink, and then you just put your piece of butcher block back on top. You have your 3-bay sink here. So you have your wash, rinse, sanitize. It's able to swivel over to each of the compartments. Under here is where we just keep our hose. So anytime we do our fill up for our water, you have to use the hose down there. We keep our hot cup lids. This is where it's all plumbed in, goes to the gray water. We have our signage here. I just have them up in the video, otherwise they lay on the mat during transit so they don't get ruined. We have this ratchet strapped here. I used to carry a Linea Mini, so I built a custom box and it fit perfect here. But now that we upgraded to the Nuova Simonelli Appia Life single group, now we don't need this space over here. So now we just use it for this wicker basket thing that holds our water bottles for when we go to events. We have a system here where it'll let you know how full your gray water tank is and your fresh water. So we have sensor probes on each of those tanks. We have outlet here. We have a USB-C and I forget what the other one is, but that is nice if you don't have a straight-in plug for the prong outlet here. Temperature probe here, which it's Bluetooth. I can measure it from my house. It's 81 degrees in here right now. I just have the door open. There is nothing going through here. Our big service window, latches that open up from here, and then it's also got a full screen on the other side, which our area does not require that you have to have a screen, but other places that we do travel to that we have to pay extra fees for the health department do require it. So I would automatically just put a screen on. It'll save you a lot of time, effort, stress, and you're going to keep all the bugs out when you're serving. So would recommend that. So here we have our other storage areas. So we have everything in bins so they don't slide. They fit literally perfectly from side to side. We just carry all of our stuff, like our cash register stuff that goes outside, paper towels, soap, extra baskets if we need it, our little Brew Head mascot that we put out on our serving table, another bin if we need to carry anything, and then accessories for my Appia Life. So that's pretty much down into these. This is our menu, and this is the street sign that I made that if we go to an event, wherever direction we have, I have the arrows pointing and the other side's the other way. So that way, if we're serving, they know exactly where Brewhead's going to be at. We also have flags and stuff like that, which are up there on the shelf. All right, so we have a temperature kettle here in case we need to use it. We have extra bottles of syrup and stuff in case we need to use those. Our matchas or hot chocolate, just extra dry products that don't have to be refrigerated, go down here into different bins. And then our last bit of storage is in here. So this is the parallel link for my generators, straws, extra cup lids if we needed them. This one we had to have a first aid kit and a barf bag. This is the hose that we use for our gray water when we go to our commissary and dump. This is for our 3-bay sink for the sanitizer. And then this is where we carry all of our accessories when we drive. So like our portafilters, our tampers, our distribution tools, our shot cups, our matcha whisks. Pretty much everything else is what goes into that bin. So this is the inside of the trailer. We insulated all walls. So this has insulation of 14 rated, or 15, I'm sorry, 15, 15, 15, and the roof is 7.5. The door is not insulated. It's just the plywood, the regular heavy door, and then we put the same floors as we put on the floor, but we just made them the opposite way for the wall, just to give it a nice, cool look when you're serving or in the trailer, just to kind of finish the look of the trailer. So this is the inside and the outside of Brew Head Espresso. Nice logo here. I like how when you have the door open, you can't see it, but whenever we go to events, we always have this door shut. Then it just completes our main logo. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you guys have any questions on anything that you saw, feel free to leave us a comment down in the comment section below. My name is Dylan with Espresso Outlet, and this is my company, Brew Head Espresso. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I look forward to answering any of the questions that you guys may have. Thank you guys so much.